In this video, you're going to learn how I went from an emotional, reactive little boy, acting like a little bitch sometimes, to actually being a fully grown fucking man in charge of his emotions. I'm going to give you action steps as well that you can take to get this fucking done for yourself, because it's really important. The biggest example that I'm sure most of us can relate to is when you're in a relationship and some shit goes wrong, like you have an argument, it's a pretty bad one, some shit happens, she does something or like you do something, especially when she does something, and then you go and tell your mates all this shit. You go and talk to them like, oh yeah, bro, she's done this, she's such a bitch, whore, blah blah blah, calling her names behind her fucking back. I used to do this, bro. I used to do this a lot back when I was in sixth form, which is like college in the UK. I was about 17, 18. And anytime she would do something, I would just go and complain to my boys. I would just go and react to this shit. I'd actually like take it to heart, have a massive argument with her. And we all know that when you go and tell your friends this shit, they start hating her, they start fucking shitting on her. You have a good time talking about it for one night, and then tomorrow you make up with her, your best fucking mates. Your friends are thinking, bro, this guy, like yesterday he was just chatting shit about her. Why is he like back together with her? Why are they best mates again? What the fuck? And the thing is, look, arguments in relationships are normal, but when you go and fucking react to this shit, when you go and shout back at the girl, when you go and like make yourself hate her for no fucking reason, when it's just a normal fucking argument, yeah? And then you go, talk to your friends about it, make a massive deal, and now you're like the center of attention basically, being this emotional little guy, and then everything changes overnight, you start loving her again, you fucking forgive her, she forgives you, you're back to normal, but now your friends just think like, bro, they got a lower view of you. You're now this emotional guy, you're just seen as this guy who's always coming to them with a problem. And your girl respects you less as well when she finds out that you've been talking about your relationship behind basically her back and to other people. You need to stop reacting, you need to stop caring about this stuff. Because bro, like, obviously if it's something big like she's cheated on you, you shouldn't even go and tell your friends that, oh, she cheated. You should say, I'm not with her anymore. Then they can ask why, then you can say she cheated. You know what I mean? Because the guy who just goes and says, oh, she cheated, he's going to end up forgiving that bitch. And I lose respect for guys myself, bro. So do you. When you see that someone's been cheated on, someone's being taken for a fool by their girl, and they stay. And it's usually the guys that go ahead and talk about it. It's the guys that go ahead and react to it. The guy that he finds out she's cheated on him, he starts asking more and more questions, he starts going crazy about it, he starts starting an argument. Bro, the real way to go about that kind of situation, let's be honest, just fucking cut her off. Don't react to that shit. Bang. You don't want her in your life anymore. It's as simple as that. That same relationship that I was in, 2-3 years later, I'm 20, 21 years old. So we've actually been together for about 5 fucking years at this point, yeah? And then some problems started happening, big problems, where she's at uni, I'm at uni, separate places, right? Long distance relationship, let's try it out, blah, 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 like, let's try and make it work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's try and make it work. I was young, I didn't know that long distance basically never fucking works, but I still tried it because like first love, blah, 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 all of that rubbish, yeah? Bro, I had an inkling that something was up, that there's another guy in the picture, like something's going on. Like, I didn't think that she's cheated or anything. I just thought like, something's up. There was some bloke that she'd always fucking talk about, who's her friend, and I started an argument about it once. I didn't like intentionally start the argument. I basically was at a Halloween party, we're there together, and this guy, he's just eyeing her up. And I thought at first that he's some ugly motherfucker. Like, he was actually like decent, you know? That made me feel like a bit insecure. And I took her back to the room and I started saying like, bro, you never fucking told me this is that guy. Like, he's fucking eyeing you up and shit. I thought he's just some random gay best friend type of vibe when you were talking about him before. But now I'm seeing that this guy like has actually got intentions, you know? As men, we know, bro, you're never truly friends with a girl. Like, if you find her attractive, you're not. You can be friends with like a fat ugly bitch if she's a good nice person and everything, but when it's the other way around and she's actually alright, you got things in common, you're like talking to her. It's fucked. So I brought that up. We're in her room, I'm shouting at her till like 3, 4 a.m. I'm being an emotional little boy, I'm reacting to shit. And then I started thinking like, shit bro, we're in this argument, I'm in this situation that I don't like. And then I just thought, I'm not gonna be with her anyway. And then I just left. I left at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I remember I took my fucking bag, I jumped on the first train home. And yeah, you could say like that's reactive, you avoided the situation, but I just thought, nah, I don't have time for this. I don't have the mental energy or the bandwidth to be dealing with this shit. I don't need it. And then I ended shit, bro, because I don't take that disrespect. I felt disrespected in that moment when that guy's looking at my girl like that and she's like his mate basically. And I'm just like, this is so fucking wrong. I would never do this. So I fucking left. Bro, being less emotionally reactive will literally make you respect yourself more. And that's how I felt. I felt like I upheld my values and I actually did right by my future self. And obviously now I thank myself, I'm 24 now, and I'm like, yeah, I would have never even stayed with her anyway. Bro, the ultimate form of self-respect is to uphold your values and to not emotionally overreact. I had a friend that owed me like over £1,000 and this was a lot of money to me. It still fucking is, £1,000, a grand's a grand, you know what I mean? He asked me for it, for his family, and I was like, yeah, go on. Best mate at the time, best mate. I gave him the money. And we had a date where he'd pay me back in like a couple months or whatever. I was like, yeah, go on, whatever, that's fine. Like, a couple months, let's do it. Nearly 2 years later and he still hasn't paid me back, bro. And I'm there thinking, bro, this is a fucking joke. Because I've been asking him every month, where's the money, where's the money, where's the money? Pay me back. And our relationship is obviously getting strained because of it. He's my best mate, bro. Since the age of like 14, we were best friends. And one day I just thought, bro, I've got to have the self-respect to cut this motherfucker off. I saw it as the cost to like learn something. The cost to learn that lesson was a few £100s at the time because he started paying me back very slowly. And after about 2 years, yeah, after I'd cut him off for months, he had paid me the full amount. He sent me the rest of the money, yeah? And now you might look at me and say like, bro, you should chat to him, like, are you chatting to him again? And I'm like, nah. His values don't align with mine. He doesn't have any fucking dignity, bro, in my eyes. He might be a different guy now and he might have like the same values as me and he might actually have the integrity. But from what I've seen, he didn't treat me with respect. So I don't need that guy in my life. And look, bro, there's a lot of backstory to this. Like, one of my other mates, he texted him a few days after I gave him the grand. He's like, bro, I just got paid a big amount, let's go out. So like, there's a lot more to it than this story. Like, I don't want you to think, oh, Justin's a dickhead, he just cut off his best mate for no reason. Like, there are big reasons to this. There's a lot of stuff that happened. Like, it's a bit of a joke, actually. And I found this all out, like, a lot later on, which contributed to me cutting the guy off when I realised he was being dishonest. But yeah, man. When you stop being emotional, you're able to make these kind of decisions that actually put your self-respect and self-worth at the top. And that should actually be your priority all throughout life, is to respect yourself, respect your own values, act on them, hold yourself in the highest regard, man, because you're worth so much. There's always another friend, there's always another girlfriend, there's always like other people that will come into your life in and out, but the only person you've ever got is yourself, all the time. So you have to make sure you're treating yourself with that respect and dignity that you deserve. And sometimes that means being emotionally unreactive. Sometimes that means just taking a step back and looking at things from an objective reality point of view, which leads me to my next point, to do the third person reality check. If you're in a situation, bro, where you feel like shit, you feel emotionally like unhinged, you're getting angry, you need to recognize it. You need to think about, oh, I feel angry right now. And I've got a framework called recognize, affirm, action, which is like, you recognize the emotion, you affirm that you're like, you just got to think, I'm angry right now, but I'm not the reactive kind of guy, I'm not a fucking angry person. And then you take action. Maybe you go and do like 15 press-ups. Always works for me. Taking some type of physical action will fucking dissipate that emotion. It will give you the mental clarity that you need to make a decision. And the third person reality check that I just spoke about is when you basically look at yourself in the third person. You imagine yourself from someone else's perspective. You think, okay, objectively, what does another person think of me if I make this decision? What does another person think of me if I act this way? And you might look at me and say, like, bro, like, I don't care what other people think, like, blah, blah, blah. You kind of have to care what another person thinks about you a little bit. Humans are social creatures. We want the validation of other people. We want to be seen as, like, higher in other people's eyes. So you need to basically make the decision to be like, okay, I want to see from an objective point of view, the third person reality check, how do I look in this situation? If you look like you're getting taken for a clown, if other people would clown you and other people would think, oh yeah, like, you're a little bitch for taking that shit, then maybe that's a sign that you need to start putting your foot down and you need to stop being so emotional, stop being sad that you might need to cut that person off, stop being sad that you might need to have a hard conversation with someone, and start thinking, yeah, I'm just going to do it anyway. When I started getting thoughts of quitting my job, which, by the way, bro, I work as a consultant engineer at one of the top manufacturing firms in the UK, I quit that shit because I was thinking, nah, like, I don't like it here. I don't really want to do this. This ain't what I'm going to be doing when I'm 40 years old. This isn't leading me to my dream life. And then I had to have a hard conversation. I had to go up to my boss, my manager, who thinks to me as this fucking engineering prodigy, bro. And I'm taking on all these projects. I'm doing all this work. I go up to the guy and I say, I quit. He was like, what the fuck? This is messed up. Like, are you all right? Stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard, bro. The job you're working right now, the uni degree you're doing right now, imagine you don't like it and you've been living in agony for fucking weeks and weeks, and then you just think, nah, I don't accept this. I don't accept this reality, and then you go and quit. It's hard to have that conversation. It's hard to even have the conversation with yourself. But I had to have it with myself, man. Then I had to have it in real life with another person. And it's because I had a third person reality check, and I thought, when I'm 40 years old, if I go down this path and I live this normal life and I do these normal things of just like work my job, get the mortgage, get the house, call it a fucking day, get like a mid-range Merc, become a manager, I'm gonna think that I was a clown. Other people will look at me and think, like, Jas has always wanted more. I thought he's gonna do a lot better than this. And actually, the dangerous thing would be if people would validate me for it. Be like, yo, you done so well in life, blah, 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 blah. That's even more dangerous. And I saw that reality coming and I was like, I don't want to be validated for having like a midlife. Look, bro, when I was younger, a lot of my emotional control was out the window because I would just react to life. I'd be a lazy motherfucker. I'd play PlayStation all night long, sometimes up to 72 hours straight. Always scrolling on my phone, TikTok, Instagram. This is when TikTok came out, so it was crazy, bro. I love that shit. So emotional, though. Dependent on just like the dopamine spike from TikTok. I did nothing hard. I'd sometimes come outside and train, I'd sometimes do some sprints, sometimes do some shadow boxing, but that's about it. No wonder I looked so shit, no wonder I felt so shit. So I'm gonna start to tell you now the actionable steps that you can take to train your emotional control and actually become the guy that you want to be, the guy who's in charge of his emotions. And there's a few things you can do. They're very linked to physical actions, yeah? You need to basically learn how to be uncomfortable and live in the discomfort zone. Some things that have helped me are every day waking up early, 4, 5 o'clock. Today I woke up at 4:15. Right now it's 6:30. So I woke up, scripted these videos, and I'm recording them outside. Took a little walk out here. It's lovely. Had a cold shower. That's another one. Cold. Freezing cold shower in the morning. I know it's that cringe thing of like, oh yeah, like the entrepreneur, athlete cold shower. Like, you gotta do it, man. But bro, it's not even about like the physical benefits at this point. It's more about like your mind don't want to do it, and then you go ahead and do it. It turns you into the type of guy that can actually recognize when you're being an emotional guy, when you're being an emotional wreck, when you feel like shit. You're able to live there, you're able to make the correct decisions even though you feel bad. Even when your relationship's going downhill, even when your manager's being a fucking prick, you know what to do. You will make the right decision. You won't be emotional about it. You'll actually take the right choice. How powerful is that? Just because you trained yourself to be uncomfortable. Some other ways you can do it. In the gym, let's say you're doing bicep curls like as an exercise. You're about to hit failure. You're like, let's say you're 10 reps in. It starts to burn, you're like, yeah, set's done. Lots of people train like that. Number one, that's why they see no fucking results. And number two, they're training their mind to like touch a bit of discomfort and then come back. Bro, did you think that being a man is supposed to be easy? Did you think that making progress is meant to be easy? You're supposed to feel the emotions, the negative shit, and then you're meant to do it anyway. I train to failure all the time. Every fucking session, every exercise, every single set, I train to failure. Because I know my mind's getting built from that, my muscles getting built from that. That's what I want you to do. I want you to fucking feel that 10th rep, be like, yeah, this is where I start counting the shit. Yeah, I'm gonna add more weight next set. 10 reps is too fucking many. I wanna feel the burn at number 4 and then keep going to 10. Have that aggression, bro. As men, we're meant to be fucking angry. Keep the anger inside, manifest it physically. Manifest it through your actions, manifest it through taking control and taking charge. This is where change is made. This is how you can actually become the guy that you wanna be, bro. Take charge of your emotions, feel the negativity, feel the shit, feel the pain, and then do the real actions anyway. Don't go around complaining about it. Don't go around being a little bitch boy. Take fucking action. Now that you know talking about your problems ain't gonna fucking help you, stop doing it all the time. If something massive happens, if something absolutely huge happens, you want to talk to someone, you have to have like at least one good guy friend, right? Maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your brother, maybe you just have a really good best friend, right? Someone you can trust. Someone who's not going to go around talking about your problems. That's another thing. If you've got guys in your life that you're talking to and they go and spread the problem around, they tell other people, you don't want that kind of person in your life. You don't have to cut them off maybe. You can still be their little friend, right? But you just don't have to talk to them about your problems. I've got one guy in my life who I know I can rely on. This guy, he won't tell anyone anything. He will just be silent about it. We can talk about anything. He talks to me about his big problems in life. I talk to him about my big problems in life. But after I've taken action, after he's taken action, we have like 15-minute chat. We're like, yeah, I feel like shit. Got to move on anyway. That's all it is. I'm not telling you to suppress and repress your emotions. I'm telling you to take charge. Hold them inside yourself. Feel it in your stomach. Sounds weird. You will feel the negativity in your stomach and then you'll feel, okay, I can take action from this point. Our bodies hold emotions. Feel the emotion. Act from it. Bro, if you like this video, I really appreciate you watching all the way through. Hit the link below. It's my Instagram. Drop me a DM. Let's have a chat on there. Hit the subscribe as well while you're at it. Like, comment, all the YouTube algorithm stuff. I hope you enjoyed, man, and I hope you can take some actionable steps from this because it's one of the most important videos I've ever made. Sweat or regret, bro. I'm out.